hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to do something for Dream Streams. In one of the comments in one of the videos, and I don't remember which one it was, but he said, would you please address the subject of contact mind reading? Contact mind reading, also known as muscle reading, also known as Hellstromism. Contact mind reading has been a fascination of mine since I took up mentalism. Here's an opinion of mine. In my opinion, if you can develop a skill that you don't require a prop for, such as contact mind reading, such as carnival stunts like driving a nail up your nose, these types of things, if you can develop material around things that you can borrow, you can find a deck of cards almost anywhere. So if you can do magic with an ordinary deck, unprepared deck of cards, you can literally do magic anywhere, anytime, and that's an incredibly valuable asset. Well, contact reading is one of those things. There have been magicians historically that have built their acts around contact mind reading, including Stuart Cumberland, Axel Hellstrom, to a certain extent Richard Osterlin, Banachek, and Kreskin. All of these performers have either incorporated contact mind reading to a significant extent, or they built their act on contact mind reading. Kreskin famously has a bit of a challenge. He says to his promoters, to his producers, you can hide my paycheck anywhere in the theater. Hide it, and I will find it, or I will not get paid. So natural, I mean, it is sensational. Banachek finds lost objects, goes through town looking for things that are hidden from him and finds them. So this is sensational magic, folks. And if you can develop this ability, you have something that will serve you well. Let me just read to you a definition that is from Wikipedia. Muscle reading is the art by which magicians perform an apparent ESP demonstration by reading the involuntary movements and reactions of a spectator. The demonstration usually involves locating a hidden object such as car keys or a paycheck. The spectator, who knows where the object is, must concentrate on that in order for the demonstration to succeed. There are two types of muscle reading. There's contact mind reading, or contact muscle reading, in which the magician stays in contact. Now that contact can either be a gentle touch, like grasping the wrist or holding some part of the body, maybe a hand on the shoulder, or it can be an object like a handkerchief. Very often there's a handkerchief, the spectator holds one end, the performer holds the other end, and that also works, and that's considered contact. Then there's non-contact muscle reading, which consists of having the spectator follow the performer about and having to read the spectator's hesitations and interpret those. Stuart Cumberland was considered one of the first to actually make a major success of building an act around contact mind reading. He was born in 1857, crossed over in 1922. He was an English mentalist. He did blindfolded stunts like riding a carriage through town blindfolded, finding hidden objects in a room blindfolded. He would ask someone to imagine a murder scene and then attempt to read the subject's thoughts and identify the victim and reenact the crime based on thoughts alone. Axel Hellstrom was born December 22nd, 1893, crossed over July 22nd, 1933. He was a World War I vet, and during the war, he saw someone demonstrate contact mind reading or muscle reading, and he started to develop his own talent and skill during the war. So many performers that I know of honed their craft in a foxhole. So it's kind of fascinating that Axel was one of these people. But he developed his skill and he went on to a great career in mentalism based on contact mind reading. Now, Richard Osterlin has done the same, Banachek, and as I mentioned, Kreskin. All three have built their act around or include some type of contact mind reading. Now, if you want more information about how this works and how you can study it and how you can practice it, I recommend 3 very important books. Number 1, Contact Mind Reading by Richard Osterlin. It's just called that, Contact Mind Reading, the Osterlin Approach. I cannot recommend it more highly. It's not too cheap. I mean, it's a paperback book about this thick, and it's about $60. But if you want to learn contact mind reading, there's no better resource. I highly recommend it. Psychological Thought Reading by Banachek. Another great resource. I would not overlook it. And then there's a book called Hellstromism that you may want to pick up and study. If you learn this and you get it down, and by the way, let me just say a few things. If you want to study contact mind reading, try to begin with something that you know. For example, force a card. Force a card, and then spread the cards out on the table and have your hand over the spectators while she or he moves over the cards. And so you know what the card is, right? Because you already know what the card is. All you're really looking for is that movement, to get the sense of that movement. Another great effect is called the finger nose. Go ahead and Google that. You're basically touching someone's hand, finger to finger like this. You ask them to concentrate on the finger, and you can sense by the movement which finger they're concentrating. So you begin to develop the sense for it by doing these types of things, and then you can expand on that foundation. So that's a recommendation if you want to study it. But get a hold of these books, read these books. And another point I want to make about learning contact mind reading, you have to do it. And you have to have the guts to be willing to fail. And that's how you learn contact mind reading. So dreams. I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for asking. It's a fascinating subject. I'm glad I was able to put it out here. Hopefully other people can benefit by this. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have not already subscribed, please do so. Please comment down below. I love your comments. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.